Hello BBN. Former Cats new Cal would soon leave the Wildcats, but with Pope at Kentucky, it's like the perfect hire that happened. Let's get to the news. What are people saying about the Wildcats' John Calipari's departure as Kentucky basketball coach surprised everyone at the time, but with Mark Pope, a name that initially generated some controversy but quickly proved to be exactly what the program needed, when rumors began circulating during the Final Four, many fans were stunned. Not only by the timing after all, few occasions are more sacred in college basketball than this tournament, but also by the destination, Arkansas, a direct rival within the SEC. But as the pieces fell into place and Mark Pope was officially named the Wildcats' new leader, something interesting happened. The transition, which could have been chaotic and marred by resentment, ended up being a positive turning point for both Calipari and Kentucky. While the veteran coach found success in Fayetteville, Pope demonstrated from the outset that he was ready to shoulder the weight of expectations at one of the most demanding programs in the country. Mark Pope's first year at the helm of the Wildcats was nothing short of historic. With 8 wins against teams ranked in the top 15, he tied an impressive record in college basketball history. Most importantly, he led Kentucky back to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2019, reigniting hope in the hearts of fans who had begun to question the program's ability to compete at the highest level. For those doubting the decision, these results were an emphatic answer. Yes, Mark Pope was the perfect hire. Former Calipari players such as Doran Lamb, DeAndre Liggins, and Archie Goodwin shared their thoughts on this transition and Pope's immediate impact. Lamb, who was a key player in the 2012 national title win, admitted he sensed Calipari's departure, especially given the mounting pressure from fans. He noted, however, that Pope's arrival brought renewed energy. Mark Pope is doing a great job. He knows what he's doing with his players, Lamb said, acknowledging the challenge the new coach faced in his first year, when much of the roster was made up of rookies. Despite this, Pope managed to get the most out of the group, winning important games and keeping Kentucky competitive in an extremely challenging environment. DeAndre Liggins, who experienced the transition from Billy Gillispie to Calipari, saw parallels in how events unfolded. Like Gillispie, Calipari left amid a turbulent narrative, but the end result was positive for all parties involved. When I first heard it, I couldn't believe it, Liggins said of Calipari's move to Arkansas, but after I saw the reporters at his house, I knew it was real. For him, hiring Pope was the right decision. It was the perfect hire. In his first year, he did a fantastic job getting to the Sweet 16, even dealing with injuries. I think he'll continue to do a great job here. Archie Goodwin, for his part, emphasized the difficulty of following someone like Calipari, using the example of Memphis, which still struggles to find stability after the coach's departure in 2009. Goodwin emphasized that replacing such an influential figure can be a monumental challenge. However, Pope managed to do something remarkable. He brought his own identity to the program, without trying to replicate Calipari's style. For him to do it his way and have the success he had doing it his way, I think it's going to be great, Goodwin said. He also noted that, without the injuries that plagued the season, Pope could have taken Kentucky even further, perhaps even to the national championship. Pope not only maintained the program's high standards, but also injected a new dynamic, exploring different tactical approaches and maximizing the potential of his players. This was very interesting, and this year great things can happen. Archie Goodwin's college basketball career and his time with Kentucky basketball are marked by ups and downs, but also by the resilience and determination that have accompanied him throughout his career. Now, with the opportunity to return to the vibrant atmosphere of the BBN through the basketball tournament, he finds a unique opportunity to rewrite part of the history he left behind in Lexington. The decision to join La Familia, a team that competes under the Kentucky flag, is not only a tribute to the program that launched him to the professional scene, but also an opportunity to show that, even after disappointments, it is possible to seek redemption. Goodwin, who has 4 years of experience in the TBT, played a fundamental role with the Eberline Drive, one of the most traditional teams in the competition. Last summer, he was a key player in the campaign that took the Eberline Drive to the semifinals, where they ultimately lost to the Forever Cougs, a team made up of former Houston players. Despite the disappointment of elimination, his standout performance in the tournament cemented his reputation as one of the competition's most valuable veterans. Now, having left the Eberline Drive for La Familia, he seeks to bring glory to a program that still holds a special place in his heart. Goodwin's 2012-13 season at Kentucky was an emotional roller coaster, both for him and for the fans. Although he arrived with high expectations after joining a team that had won the national title the previous year, his tenure was marked by moments of brilliance and unexpected setbacks. The injury to Nerlens Noel, who tore his anterior cruciate ligament in February 2013, was a devastating blow to the squad. Without the center, who was the defensive anchor and one of the team's leaders, the Wildcats struggled to find consistency and ended up out of the NCAA tournament, only appearing in the NIT a bitter end for a program accustomed to competing in the biggest competitions. I take it as it was, Goodwin said of his experience at Kentucky. I think we had some ups and downs. Everyone knows that if Nerlens Noel doesn't get hurt, we'll have a different season. His reflection demonstrates maturity and a clear understanding of the impact Noel's absence had on the team. However, he also recognizes that, even without the center, the team had the potential to reach the NCAA tournament. This conviction is shared by many analysts, who believe the Wildcats' record that season could have been enough to secure a spot, even in the face of difficulties. For Goodwin, participating in the TBT with La Familia is more than an opportunity to compete against other professionals. It's a chance to reclaim some of the memories left hanging from his time at Kentucky. It means a lot to me, he said. When I was here in 2012, we had an up-and-down year. The way that season ended made a lot of fans look at that team in a certain way, in a certain light. So for me, being a part of that team and being able to get back to that, if we could win or come close to winning, could be a way for them to see, like, okay, these guys, maybe they didn't win a lot. They weren't ready at the time, but they had an opportunity to come back and fix things, and do something, too. While the TBT doesn't have the same prestige as the NCAA tournament, it offers a competitive platform where players can prove themselves and represent their home programs. For Goodwin, this competition holds special meaning, as it allows him to reconnect with the Kentucky fans and show that, even after a disappointing end to his college years, he can still contribute to the program's legacy. It's not the NCAA tournament, but it's competitive because it means something. You're playing against other professionals and you want to win? So, there's still a competitive edge there, and it's still something we can win under the Kentucky name that will mean something to the program, he explained. This mindset reflects the passion Goodwin has always had for basketball in Kentucky. He understands the fans' frustration and recognizes that, in a program with so many historic achievements, expectations are always high. However, he also believes that moments like this where former players have the chance to represent their schools again can help build bridges and strengthen the bonds between the program's past and present. By joining La Familia, Goodwin isn't just looking for victories in the TBT, but also a way to heal old wounds and reaffirm his love for Kentucky basketball. Best of luck to him. The 2025 season promises to be one of the most challenging times in Mark Stoops' tenure as head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats. After a disappointing 2024 campaign, marked by a 4-8 record 1-7 in the SEC, the pressure on Stoops and his players is evident with each passing year. Expectations rise, especially considering the legacy built over his 13 seasons at the helm. However, with a brutal schedule and a roster still largely unknown to fans, the future seems uncertain, but not necessarily bleak. The Wildcats' offense has been consistently criticized in recent years, and there is a widespread sense that substantial changes are needed to compete at a higher level within the SEC. The program's silence during the preseason can be interpreted in many ways. For some, it's a worrying sign that the team is struggling to find its identity. For others, however, it's a demonstration of discipline and focus, traits that can be crucial in overcoming adversity. Adopting a get-your-head-down-and-work approach, Stoops and his staff appear to be prioritizing internal development, avoiding external distractions, and focusing on strengthening fundamentals before facing a daunting stretch of games. This strategy can be seen as a calculated gamble and effort to rebuild confidence and cohesion before testing the roster against some of the best teams in the country, and there will be plenty of tests. According to Phil Steele, the Wildcats' 2025 schedule is the 9th toughest in college football. This means that even before taking the field, Kentucky is already at a statistical disadvantage. The challenges begin early, with a Week 2 home matchup against Ole Miss. While the Rebels aren't considered a conference powerhouse, they have traditionally been competitive, and winning this game will be essential to gaining early momentum. A win against Eastern Michigan the following week might provide some momentary peace of mind, but it will quickly be dispelled by a road matchup against South Carolina, a team that ranks among the SEC's most promising. The real test, however, comes right after Georgia, traveling to Athens to face the Bulldogs, one of the most dominant franchises in college football in recent memory, will be a monumental test. Even with a week off after the matchup, recovering emotionally and physically from this battle will be crucial before hosting Texas at Kroger Field. This matchup, in particular, is notable for its symbolism. Two storied programs, both seeking redemption in different seasons, collide in a potentially trajectory-defining scenario. The challenges continue unabated. Tennessee, a regional rival and always competitive, visits Lexington the following week, followed by a trip to Auburn. Each of these games represents an opportunity to gauge the Wildcats' progress, but also a real threat to their survival and the quest for a bowl berth. When Florida appears on the schedule, nearing the end of the regular season, physical and mental fatigue will certainly be present. Closing the season against Tennessee Tech, Vanderbilt, and Louisville offers some relief, but it will be too late to salvage a campaign if previous results have not been satisfactory. With 5 SEC programs ranked higher than Kentucky and Phil Steele's schedule difficulty, rankings Oklahoma number 7, LSU number 6, South Carolina number 4, Arkansas number 3, and Mississippi State number 2. It's clear that the margin for error is slim. If Stoops wants to return to the glory of 8 consecutive bowl seasons, he will need to get the most out of his squad and create tactical miracles in decisive moments. Furthermore, the arrival of new talent, such as Matt Ponitowski, could inject new energy into the offense. While the road ahead may be arduous, there is potential for surprises. Underrated teams often find ways to overcome negative prognoses, and the Wildcats have the experience to capitalize on any opportunity that arises. Share your thoughts.